Welcome! Would you like to have all the tools and environment installed in your PHI compliant laptop in as little as 10 minutes? Please follow along with me in this video. My name is Jose Posada. I'm Senior Clinical Data Scientist working for Research IT at Technology and Digital Solutions and the Biomedical Informatics Research Center at the Department of Medicine. First, we're going to open Google Chrome, and we're going to go to the repository where all the code for STARR OMOP lives. It's codestanford.edu. If you have not signed in, let's sign in. It will ask you your usual Stanford credentials. And then from here, we need to look for the NeuroSTAR project. We can simply search here, NeuroSTAR, and you can select STAR data users, NeuroSTAR notebooks. From here, we can go down and select a Docker container. Here we will find a README file with all the instructions we need to do this. First, we need to download and install Docker in our Mac. Let's click. And then from here, now we have two options, Mac with an Intel chip and Mac with an Apple chip. If you have an quote-unquote all Mac like mine, I will select the one with Intel chip. You will download. Once the download is done, we can go ahead and open the file. Once it verifies, it opens this window. So we just need to do drag and drop, and the installation process will be complete. Then, when that process is done, you can go to your Launchpad or to your applications, type Docker, and be sure to launch the application. The application will be launched here, and it will generally open this interface that is a UI that helps manage Docker. And also, you will have a whale here in your taskbar in the Mac that is showing, if I click here, that Docker desktop is running. After we do that and we ensure that Docker desktop is running, we will open a command line terminal. In this command line terminal, we will just type which Docker. And then some path should appear telling us that Docker should be properly installed. We can also type Docker version, and we can verify that Docker is indeed accessible through command line. Once we verify that Docker is properly installed in our computer, we can go ahead and continue following the instructions here. Then the next step is that we actually need to run and to download an image. For that purpose, here is a template where you can definitely change this parameter and this parameter to whatever it's your preference. For the purpose of this tutorial, this gcloud config folder will be the location where by default credentials to access gcloud are saved in our Mac. In my case, is user jdposada.config gcloud. In your Mac, instead of jdposada, will be the username of your Mac. Also, we need to consider this current directory parameter. That is to have a directory in your local computer that we can use, or you can use, to save all your work. In my case, I'm going just to create a folder inside of my documents that is called STAR Tutorials. To create that folder, you can do it by command line or simply go to Finder, Documents, let's create a new folder, and let's call it STAR Tutorials. Then after that, we're going to copy and paste this command, copy and paste this command in the terminal window. Let's paste it, and let's click enter just to run it. The first time you will run that command, it will download the actual image from internet. The image, it's about 4 GB. After that is fully executed, you will see that there is a URL that pops out here. We're going to copy that URL and we will paste that in our Google Chrome in this case. We're going to increase the zoom so you can clearly see what I'm seeing. And this opens a Jupyter Lab interface that we can use to interact with BigQuery, but there are some other steps that we need to do before we can continue. Let's check it out. This is the step. We just copy and paste that. And then we actually need to generate our Google Cloud credentials. We're going to generate a file that is called application default credentials. And that file contains the credential for our identity in Google Cloud. So what we're going to do is we're going to open a terminal and we are going to type this command here. It's important that the terminal is open within the Jupyter Lab interface. Then we see that it's asking us, and there is something that is popping out here, is a URL. We will copy that URL with Command C, and we'll paste it here. And that will ask me to sign in with my Google account. Be sure that you are signing in with your Stanford Google account. Then we will allow. And then after that, it will ask me to copy this token and to paste it here. That finalized the process of actually creating the credentials. You see, this line is telling me that the credentials was saved into this file, home, Jovian, config, gcloud, application default credentials. Why this Jovian here? It's because when we're inside the container, we're actually inside a totally different operating system than the operating system that is in your local laptop. That is the reason. Then, with that credential already created, we're going to go ahead and continue in our next step. Our next step is actually cloning this repository where this README lives. So for doing that, we're going to type this command, git clone codestanford.edu. It's very important that in this interface, in this Code Stanford interface, you actually create your password. To do that, you need to go ahead and click here and then go to Preferences. Then after going there, you need to go to Password. And in Password, if it's the first time you're doing this, you will only see the option for new password and password confirmation. And then you will be able to create one. In case you have totally forgot your password, don't worry, just click here and forgot my password and please set a new one. What is the username? The username is what appears here. So my username is actually the same as my Sunny ID, is JD Posada. That is going to be your username. So let's go back, and let's type the command that is here, git clone, to clone our repository. Just copy and let's paste it here. So be sure to clone that inside this work folder. That is the folder that we are mapping to your local computer. So all the work you do is safe. Yes, is below here, cd work ls. So there is nothing here. Now we can safely paste the command git clone. And it's asking me for my username. In my case, it's JD Posada. And my password. So I'm going to look for my password. I just typed my password and was able to get a successful clone of the repository. If I go inside here, you will see that the repository Meteor Star Notebooks is now here. Then from there, I'm almost done. Now, to test that you indeed have connection and have everything you need, let's go inside Notebooks, let's go inside Tutorials, and let's go inside Tutorial 1. Here, we are going to run this cell. Just click here and play to run it, or you can also type Control-Enter to run it. Let's run the next one. Let's run the next one. And then let's just try to see if we actually have access to BigQuery. And voila, we have access to BigQuery. I forgot to mention one thing, is that if you are going to access the training project, you don't need to be on VPN, but when we are going to access your Nero project, you actually need to verify that you are using Stanford VPN client. Thank you very much for being with me in this tutorial. I hope you enjoy it and see you in the next opportunity.
The preceding program is copyrighted by the Board of Trustees of the Leland Stanford Junior University. Please visit us at med.stanford.edu.